Welcome to the Purpose, Passion, and Profit podcast, a show for ambitious women who are ready to ditch their 9-to-5 and create an online business doing work that's in alignment with their calling. I'm your host, Kelly Dawn, business and money mindset coach for purpose-driven entrepreneurs. Each week, I'll be sharing actionable steps to help you gain clarity, build confidence, and cultivate an abundance mindset that will help you create a profitable, service-based online business. If you're ready to make an income and impact doing what you love, let's do this. Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Today we're talking about how to get clear on who your ideal client is. Now, if you hear the term ideal client and that makes you want to pull your hair out or you're rolling your eyes right now, I totally get it. I have been there. Back in the earlier days of my business, I spent hours, and I'm talking hours, doing these ideal client avatar worksheets where I would go through detail after detail about this person that I thought was my ideal client. I'm using little air quotes here. Things like, what color of socks do they wear? What kind of cereal do they eat? What are they watching on Netflix? What kind of tampons does she use? Well, okay, that last one, maybe not. But that's the kind of detail I thought I had to get into in order to market effectively to the person I wanted to serve. And I'm here to tell you, you never, ever have to do one of those ideal client avatar exercises again. You can put them aside. They're not necessary. In fact, they're a total waste of time. But there are a few things you need to know about the person that you want to work with. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about in today's show. All right, so to start off with, we do need to have a general idea of who we're speaking to. We can't go out there on the internet and speak to the masses and expect anyone to really be drawn to our work, because when we're speaking to everyone, we speak to no one. I don't know who said that originally. It wasn't me. I've heard it somewhere, but it's absolutely true. The internet is a very busy, noisy space, and people are scrolling all day long. And if they're seeing very wishy-washy general content, they're going to keep scrolling. When you speak to your ideal person, and they stop their scroll and they're like, holy cow, she's totally in my head. I'm doing this thing that she's talking about. Or how did she know? How did she know? That's exactly what I'm going through right now. That's what we want to hit in our content. So in order to do that, we do need to know who our person is. Because if I'm marketing to a middle-aged man who's really secure in his career, he's rocking it in that area, but his marriage is falling apart, I'm going to be sharing very different content than if I'm speaking to a 23-year-old girl who is out of college, starting a career, and wants help dating, right? Two extremely different cases here, two extremely different people that we would be speaking to. So we do need to know who our person is. But I want you guys to focus on what's going on in their life. Like, what stage of life are they at? Are they working full time? Are they married with kids? Are they single? Are they partying every weekend? Are they retired? Have an idea of who it is that you want to speak to, because that's going to make it so much easier to speak directly to them in your content, because you're going to be able to get really specific with examples. The second thing we want to look at is, where are they on their journey in relation to what we do? So using my own business as an example, I work with female entrepreneurs. Now, that is a big, big group of people. And even if I narrow it down to female service-based entrepreneurs, the person who's still in a 9-to-5 or the person who is ready to hit 5 to 10K months wants very different things than the person who is making $500,000 a year and who's been in business for a little while. Right? So we want to look at our ideal person, but then also ask ourselves, okay, where are they on their journey? What can I help them with the most? Where does that fit together? Okay, so this is where we can get a little more specific. And again, this all gets tied back to what we're talking about in our content. So with this example of today's podcast, I'm helping you guys get clear on your ideal client. The person who's making millions of dollars a year in their business, they don't need this episode. They do not need this episode. This is for you if you're in a space where you want clarity on this specific thing. Now, the third thing we want to look at is, what do they want? What do they want? What are they struggling with? What problems do they have? And how can we help them? Okay, we want to look at these things together because this is where we're going to create those posts. We're going to create those podcast episodes, those YouTube videos where they're going to stop their scroll and they're going to be like, holy shit, she gets me. She totally gets me because this is exactly what I have been struggling with. This is exactly the thing that I need. This final piece I'm going to share with you is going to make your content creation so much easier. If you completely ignore everything else I said in today's episode, I want you guys to listen in now because this thing will change the game when it comes to marketing your business. Okay, you ready? Speak to a previous version of yourself. I've said it before and I will say it many times again because this makes everything so much easier. You know what you were going through. You know what was keeping you up at night. You know what you wanted. And so if you just speak to that version of you, you are going to be speaking to people you know you can help because you've been there and you're going to have specific examples. Like I remember back when I first started my cleaning business, I only had 2 clients lined up, which meant I had $160 a month in sales coming in. That's it. And I ended up renting an apartment. I ended up leaping into entrepreneurship, scared absolutely shitless. Like totally scared of making that leap. That was the very first time I went from having a regular paycheck from a boss and doing something completely on my own. So when I talk about that, I can go into much more detail about what that whole situation was like. I can talk about how I was sitting at this restaurant with my mom having lunch, how I went and looked at my apartment. I can go into everything that was happening back then because I lived it. And even if someone is coming across my content and they're not in the exact same position, they're still going to get it. They're still going to resonate because they're scared. Like they are scared to leave the comfort and the security of a 9-to-5 job. So when we share our story and we speak to that previous version of ourselves and we tell them, you know what? What's on the other side of that fear? What's on the other side of that uncertainty is absolute magic. It is worth it. It's time to go for it. This is how I did it. When we just talk about our own journey and speak to that previous version of ourselves, we can't go wrong. We can't go wrong because we've been there. So we're in full integrity. We're talking about something that we've done ourselves. And we have so many examples that we can pull from. So to make all of this ideal client work super simple, talk to the version of you who wants the transformation that you can now offer. All right, I'm going to leave you with that for today. I hope you found today's episode helpful. If you did, you can tag me over in your Instagram stories at igniteyourpurpose.co. All right, ladies, I can't wait to speak with you in the next episode. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.